Welcome to Yeukai Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yeukai Kajidori.
Hello, and welcome back to another very special episode. I'm so excited that you have joined me here, and I know you've been listening for a long time because I can see from the interaction in the community that a lot of people keep coming back and wanting to learn more, and I know you're also doing the same thing. And Bill, today we've got a great interview, and I know you were asking earlier on to cover the mistakes. And today, that's what we are going to be talking about, the mistakes that people do. Sometimes they don't even know they're making mistakes in this area, but our expert today is going to reveal to you what those mistakes are and how you can avoid them for certain. Now, before we bring our guest here today, I want to remind you of two things. Number one, our leadership training mentor, Trevor Stockwell, is around in the community. And if you see him active in there, ask him about leadership training that he has. He's got an incredible training program that produced tremendous results for the business owners. So reach out to Trevor Stockwell in the community and find out more. And secondly, our podcast training. I know some of you want to know how to start a podcast, how to scale a podcast, and how to monetize a podcast. Because, we've been doing all these three, and we are doing it even at a larger scale today. So we created a program so that we can show you how to do that. So if you need that, again, go into the community where there is more information and we'll be able to help you. Now, that out of the way, let's go and talk to our guests. Again, as we always do, we bring the very best of the best, to come and help us, because we know when we've got the best guest here, you're going to act on their knowledge and you're going to get results, which is what we are all about. And my guest is truly outstanding. And, we've been looking at their background and what they do, and I think it will be a right fit for us. There you have it. Now, let's start here. For those who are yet to discover you and what you do, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your background, your education, and your area of expertise, so that everybody in the audience will know who you are?
So I was born and raised in India, and then I went to college in London, went to university there, studied business and management, and I graduated with an honors degree. However, was just not able to find a job. I applied everywhere and just couldn't secure a job. So it really dawned on me that I have to take control of my career and my financial future and come up with something myself. And that's when I got introduced to the stock market, and I started learning in my dorm room, started when I was 18 years old. And, the best part is I've done that ever since. Now I'm 30 and I've been trading since I was 18, never had a job. So that's kind of my experience in relation to my background.
Outstanding. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. We're just going to go straight in and start talking about the mistakes. In your opinion, in this area, having done this for so long, what is the number one mistakes that you find business owners make consistently, and oftentimes unaware that they are making the mistakes? And what should they do instead?
I think a lot of the biggest mistakes that I see entrepreneurs making in any area or any industry is they're focusing a lot on how do we generate revenue, which is great. Revenue is important. That's the lifeline of any business. But if you really think about how do I serve the customer so they can have a great experience, how do I get the result that the customers want? Because the customers don't want information. They don't really want knowledge. They want a result. So how can I deliver that to my customers or my clients? So in my case, I teach traders and investors how to be involved in the stock market. So for me, the result is very measurable. How can I deliver them the results so they can take control of their finances? How can I get them to a point where they're able to learn and practice and be involved in the stock market without needing to pay a hedge fund or broker or mutual fund and pay those exorbitant fees? Because guess what? Most people these days with the tools that are available can do it online. So how can you give your customers and your clients the ability to get the success, get the result that they desire. And if you can provide them that, then guess what? They'll be your biggest cheerleaders. So the biggest mistake people make is not focusing enough on their clients.
Yes, I can see how that would work. I'm going to say I'm guilty of that, and I'm glad you are talking about this, and everybody's going to find a way. But the key thing, Bill, if you're listening, is once you discover that this is a mistake, is the corrective measure. What are you going to do about that? And this is equally important. Let's dive in to talk about what is the mistake that most often causes business owners to fail completely in this area. And of course, let's give an answer as to what they should be doing right now, given the information that we know now in light of the expertise that you're sharing with us.
In my career, as far as the stock market trader, the biggest reason why most people fail is because of having the wrong mindset and unrealistic expectations. They expect to just crush it. They expect to just do big things in the first year, but that's just not how it works, right? A lot of people underestimate what they can achieve in like 10 years time, but when it comes to 1 year, they really, really overestimate that. So what people need to do, they got to be in the right mindset. They got to set realistic expectations, because if you have realistic expectations and you hit those realistic expectations, then you're going to have momentum that you can build off, right? But if you have the wrong expectations, they're the recipe for disappointment. Disappointment leads to lack of motivation. Lack of motivation leads to you not doing the things that are required to get you your business to where you want to be. So this really applies to all businesses, is to have realistic expectations and always be constantly learning and improving. Because guess what? If you're not constantly learning and improving, then somebody else is. Your competitor is. He's working on him. He's hiring advisors, right? So a lot of people try to do it all on themselves. But you know what? There's somebody out there who's already done what you want to do. Find it out who they are, network with them, and so they can tell you what not to do. That will save you a lot of money in making these bad business decisions and bad mistakes.
My next question really is a tricky one, because I'm sometimes guilty of it, and it is this: what is the mistake that often business owners make, where they think in their minds they're actually doing the right thing and don't realize it's a mistake in the first place? And what should they do instead?
A lot of people make a mistake of trying to go at it themselves. But what they forget is there's people out there, they've pretty much done everything you're trying to do, you want to do, right? For most part, everybody, there's always somebody out there who's already done that. So the biggest mistake people make is trying to go at it alone. I can do it myself. I don't need anybody. That's the wrong mindset. What you need to do is you need to find advisors who are either already where you want to be or are in the industry and getting the results that you're already getting, and try to make, network with them. Even if you have to pay them, right? Even if you have to pay them. Like in my business, I've paid people all the time, because guess what? It'll save me so much time and trouble. Now, sure, there's online courses and stuff for a lot of things, but there's nothing better than a 30-minute conversation with somebody who's already where you want to be. Because sometimes it's not about knowing what to do, but rather what to avoid, things to look out for. And the biggest mistake people will make is they think they're doing the right thing, because guess what? They're surrounded in an echo chamber, or maybe they're surrounded by their friends and family who are maybe not a business expert. So they would tell, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. But a lot of times it's not a great idea. It's not a great idea unless it's validated by the product market fit, by your actual consumer audience. So don't get feedback from people, from friends and family who have no knowledge about that industry. Instead, seek out knowledge experts in that industry that can get you to where you want to be.
Wow, that certainly is an eye opener, and I'm glad that you touched on that for sure. Let's talk about, maybe go a little bit further. Are there any other major mistakes that we need to let our community of business owners know about? I know, of course, because of the constraints of time, we won't be able to go into greater details. We'll do that in the community, of course. But are there any major mistakes that you think and feel business owners need to know about right now in this area, of course?
I think the biggest thing business owners need to realize is it all literally starts with your mindset. I know it sounds cheesy. A lot of people are like, oh, the mindset. But think about it. Ask yourself the question, what are the characteristics that successful, wealthy individuals or successful business owners have, right? And write it down on a piece of paper. And then once you've written it down, a lot of people say, hey, desire to succeed, right? Motivation. They talk about inspiration. They talk about, knowledge. They talk about being in the right frame of mind. They talk about the attitude. Guess what? All these things are mindset related things. They're not skills. And a lot of people make a mistake of acquiring new skills. They want to learn more. They want to learn how to do this. They want to learn how to do that. But guess what? They're stuck in the circle of learning, 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 but they're not actually doing. So the best way to do is you find a thing, you test it. Test everything in your business, right? Make sure you're tracking every single thing, because without that, there's no way to improve. So collect detailed records of everything your business is doing so that it can be replicatable. Because a lot of people stay as individual businesses because they don't have standard operating procedures that are going to let them scale their business. So you need to write down every little task in your business and try to offload that to somebody as quick as you can. Because most business owners these days get stuck by, they think they're entrepreneurs, but all they're doing is they're business operators. They're not business owners. Business owner is somebody who owns a business, sets people and processes in place so the business can run independently without the owner. That's actually a business. If you're the one doing all the tasks in your business, then you just operate. You just bought yourself a job. That's not a business, right? So for you to be a business owner, you need to have detailed step-by-step directions so you are able to replicate that by giving that task, by delegating it to other people. That's how you really build a team.
Awesome, awesome. And as we're coming toward the end of our time together here, is there anything else I've not asked you about in this area that you strongly feel that it will be appropriate to share and will be great for people to know about?
I think one of the most important things that people need to live by is the success key that I talk about in my book, Prepping for Success. And that success key is being a person of integrity, being a man or woman of integrity, which basically means doing what you said you're going to do and then doing it when you said you're going to do it. I mean, just think about it. How much would your life be different if you just did the things you said you're going to do? And then not only that, you did them when you said you were going to do them. Everything would change. And most people always say, you know what, but I'm a person of integrity. Really? When's the last time somebody called you back and he said, you know what, let me call you back in a second, and you never did? When's the last time you got an email you were meant to respond to? You're like, I'll get to this later, and you never did. Right? So we all have these little breaks of integrity that lead into creating low self-esteem, which will not help you bring the best version of yourself into your business. So be a person of integrity. Do what you said you're going to do, and then do it when you said you're going to do it. And I talk about that a lot more in my book, Prepping for Success.
Wow. Outstanding. Outstanding. A lot of great information there, a lot of things that we are discovering. Well, I want to say thank you so much for spending time with us here. What a great interview, great conversation we've just had. And I never want to finish off without giving you an opportunity to share with everybody where people can find further information or connect with you. Could you tell us a little bit more about your website or even your social media so that we can connect with you there?
So for people interested in the stock market, my website is LiveTraders.com, where if somebody signs up, they can get a free intro guide as well as a free intro course. They'll tell you all the basics you need to know to get started in the stock market and how to do that yourself. And then the website also has other tools, courses, programs for people who really want to dive into the stock market and really do this either for a living or on the side to help supplement their current business income. So that's one thing we do. But apart from that, what I'm really, really passionate about is my book, Prepping for Success, which you can find out more about at preppingforsuccess.com. The book is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, everywhere else. So that is what I'm really passionate about, is the things people need to do, the mindset that they need to cultivate for success. Because guess what? You can have all the skills in the world, but without the right mindset, you're not going to make it. And somebody who doesn't have maybe the skills, but has a great mindset, he's going to still find a way and figure out how to succeed. So cultivating that mindset, that's kind of what I talk about in my book. And it's very practical. It's a very short read. It's not a lot of fluff in there. It's straight to the point of things that people need to do.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to know more, there are links below. And what a great conversation we've had here. And I know many of you will want to have follow-up questions and want more answers and maybe engage, our guest services. And the best place to be doing that is go and find out in our community. So if you're not yet a member of our community, click the link below and you'll be taken directly into an area where you can create your own account. Download the app on your phone and you'll be able to talk to our guests directly, and they will be coming back to you. They'll be able to answer your questions straight away. Very easy and straightforward. Or if you have been a member of our community and haven't been in there for a long time, well, this may be the appropriate time to go back, re-engage and reconnect with other incredible members of our community in there. Truly, this has been outstanding. Would you, in a moment, when I finish off, share with everybody how you will be helping people in the community in the weeks and even months or even in years to come as a result of this shortly. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Until next time, as we always say here, never leave a place of discovering a new concept or discovering what you ought to do or what you ought not to do without scheduling a time when you're going to implement that. Because it's a proven fact that if you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen. Life is going to take over. So we want you to do that. And when you have scheduled it, let everybody know in the community, and we will support you. We're cheering you on, and we truly believe in your goals. And when you are working on your goals, it makes me personally very, very happy, because that's the reason why we do what we are doing. So go into the community and do your very, very best. And again, access those leadership training, podcast training, and everything else that we've got going in there. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, live well, live with passion. Know that the best is truly, truly yet to come.
Thank you for listening to Yeukai Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.yukaibusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.